while. The Bears won the toss, but they deferred, and the Titans will receive. And here we go from Nashville as Tennessee will start from their own 25. Marco Murray will start today. Not sure how long he'll be in the game. Running back coming back from a hamstring injury, and he'll get it. This is Murray, left side. Not much. On second down, they run a reverse to Taywan Taylor. The rookie's got some speed, and he's out near a first down, maybe a half a yard short. That's the rookie, third-round pick from Western Kentucky. And they'll do a little flip. That's Taylor again, trying to get to the edge, and it's close. I don't know if he got it. We'll see what the mark is. It is Murray, and second effort to Marco Murray. He's got a first down for Tennessee. Here's Murray, little stutter step and diving forward for 3. Mariota, they'll run it again. 6 play, 6 run. Murray stacked up. Nowhere to go. It's Darrell Freeman. Third down, 4-man rush. Mariota's going to float one. Incomplete. He was looking for Taywan Taylor. Great punt by Kern. Wow, look at that. Talk about directional kicking. And so Chicago will start deep in their own territory at their own 4-yard line. A 55-yard punt. Mike Glennon under center. Jordan Howard at tailback. They'll throw it. That's Zach Miller, the tight end. And Miller breaks the tackle. Good fight from Zach Miller, who's out near a first down.
Double down and got Mitchell Trubisky as their quarterback. Including
Glennon, who told us that the other day. This is Jordan Howard. And on second and short, he's got a first down. Quarterback's hard to come by. You know that. On first down, they will run it again. You know, Jordan Howard is a guy. Howard again. He gets eaten alive. Nowhere to go. Wesley Woodyard on the stop. It's third and long coming up for Glennon. Blitz. Glennon. Near side. Has a completion and a first down. Well done. That was Kendall Wright, the ex-Titan, who will move the chains next week. So looking to add on, as you said. And we got our first flag of the day. Ed Hockley is our
Ball
referee.
Start offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Say, hey, we like you, so we're going to give you 3 years and $45 million. And now we see how it all works out. It's coming inside Kevin White, who's cutting in and out and zigzagging his way for the Bears. Broken leg each of the last 2 years. Only 4 games. That's it. Here's Tariq Cohen, and he's going to pick up a Bears first down. Kenny Cunningham, the ex-Ram, is now in the game at tailback, and they'll fake it. Lennon, a lot of time. Now the pocket converges, firing, and complete. What a dart from Mike Glennon to Cam Meredith. That was a throw. Either Jackson was all over him. Howard's back in the game, and he's got it. And Jordan Howard is going to pick up 3 on that carry.
They might buy it on someone else, maybe not with him so fast.
10th play of the drive, going far side, incomplete. That was Titus Davis. Lennon with time, lets it fly, complete. Kendall Wright, and another Chicago first down. Here's Howard, stretch right, not much. Dives inside the 20. Howard's going to pick up 2 before Woodyard came in to make the play. 13th play of the opening drive for Chicago. Throw it again. He's going over the middle for the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Deion Sims, the free agent ad, the former Dolphin. Lennon, blitz, picked up over the middle, caught. It's right inside the 5.
I'd love to have Mike Glennon throw a dagger shot in the end zone and get a touchdown pass.
He will throw it, looking for White on the fade, and waiting for the signal. I think he's got it. There's a flag. No.
Number 25. The ball is placed in the end zone. I'm sorry, the foul was in the end zone. The ball is placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
See, Jackson 25 doesn't get his hands on him at the line of scrimmage and then gets his hands on him late, well past the 5-yard zone where you're allowed to contact the receiver. See, he didn't get him at the line of scrimmage in the jam, touched him late.
From the 1, the fake, Glennon going end zone, touchdown! Deion Sims, what a drive!
Watch to the right, 88 Sims fakes a block and gets into the end zone. Off of the fake for Glennon, wide open, puts it out there, Sims takes it in.
Would have had one more completion, but he had a drop as the extra point is up and good.
Obvious that they wanted to go after it.
Yeah, Jackson starting at corner today, the rookie. They elevated him that role to see how he would do, so a tough start. Here's Eric Weems on the kick return, former Pro Bowler, and gets upended out across the 25 by Adrian Amos. Mariota, quick hitter, far side. This is Rashard Matthews, former Miami Dolphin receiver, leading receptions with 65. Mariota, fake, try to set up a screen to Murray, and he gets buried. Quinton Demps, part of this Bears revamped secondary. Pro Bowl tight end. Mariota, a lot of time, going to tuck it and run. He can do that well, and he'll go out of bounds. I think Mike Malarkey says, go out of bounds, son. Punt. Bowl left tackle last year for the first time in the Pro Bowl. Curran to punt it away. It's another lunar lander. My goodness, look at this. It's like the same exact punt down inside the 5. Also a great punt return. So he'll get some work. So here's Glennon in the offense. And give it off to Howard for a short game. Final minute of the first quarter. Glennon over the middle. There's Meredith, another completion. And an easy one to Meredith. There, number 14. Thompson will get a chance, but they'll run it here. Coming near side. Howard, nifty move, penalty flag, and a nice hit at the end by Jackson.
Holding, defense, number 90. That's a 5-yard penalty that will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Go with the football. And they'll give it to Howard. Room for Jordan Howard, who's got a first down across midfield.
To number 11, which he wore in college.
At this point, anything will work. Fake blitz, Glennon in trouble, and down he goes. Wesley Woodyard got him. Glennon will throw it. Going over the middle to Deion Sims, the tight end, who 3rd down and 12. Blitz picked up, Glennon incomplete, a little bit low, and that wouldn't have been enough for a first down anyway. Patrick O'Donnell will do the kicking. Dory Jackson is an electrifying return man. See if he gets a chance. He'll field it inside the 5, and that is usually a no-no, and that's why. Tennessee football, 1st and 10. From their own 3. Mariota will throw, and he's got a completion. And that is caught by Tajay Sharp.
The new home of the Big Ten. Fox.
Got some good football coming your way, huh?
Yes, sir.
Is not going to go very far. Mariota over the middle. Good catch. It is Matthews for a Tennessee first down. And hang on, we got a flag in the backfield, so hold on a second.
Holding, offense, number 77. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat second down.
Another Titans tackle, John Runyon, back in the day, right? Similar type deal. Here is Murray across the 10, out near the 13. And we get a little tempers flaring here. Now a lot of tempers flaring. Multiple flags on the play.
Jay Howard by both teams after the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness offense. It's number 67. Also, personal foul, number 95. Both of those players are ejected from the game for throwing punches. The foul is offset. Second down.
Well, after all that, it's a 3rd down. Mariota gets some pressure, lets it go incomplete, and the erratic start for this Titans offense continues.
Top of the game.
And Kern has it blocked. It's sitting there in the end zone. Do the Bears recover? Waiting for a signal. No, they did not get it in time for a touchdown. It'll be out of the end zone. It will be a safety. That's the official rule.
I would think safety.
The ruling on the field is that the player who recovered the ball recovered it while he was out of bounds. Before he actually had possession, he had touched the white. Therefore, the result of the play is a touchback.
If he doesn't, it's a safety because it's a kick. The offense, Tennessee.
The ruling on the field. The ruling on the field is that the player recovered the ball after the ball had gone out of bounds. He was touching out of bounds when he had possession. And therefore, the ball was out of the back of the end zone, and the result of that is a safety.
I was going to say, I've never seen the ball go that way and it not be a safety.
On the field.
But not exactly what you expected from a preseason contest today. Huh? Just testing everybody. Here is Tariq Cohen back to receive inside his own 10. Cohen. Little boom. It gets up to the 30. Jeremy Langford in the game at running back, and he'll get the ball here for his first carry and a gain of 2. Looks. On second down, here he is. Across the 35, and a 3rd down and 5 coming up. On 3rd down, 3-man rush. Lanning, incomplete. A little bit behind Zach Miller, the tight end. On point on the first one. Here's Jackson. Going to corral this at the 10. Up the sideline. Takes a couple of sticks. Marco Murray remains in at running back. He'll fake. Mariota. Let it go. Far side. Incomplete. Derrick Henry in the game at running back now. I believe for the first time today. And the former Alabama star, Heisman Trophy winner, will get it for a short game. Yeah. Hurry! 3rd down. Some pressure up the middle. Mariota. Delaney Walker goes up and gets it. Might as well go to the Pro Bowl tight end when you're in trouble, and he hooks up for 27. They'll run it. Henry. Good cut. Derrick Henry out to the 45 and a penalty.
A foul. Face mask. Offense number 77. It's a 15-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
With that, a 1st and 23. Mariota will let it go way over there. He's overshot some guys today. 4-man rush. Steps away and then gets drilled. Mariota is taken down by the big guy, Akeem Hicks.
The old quick kick.
But they'll try it here. Mariota not quick kicking. He'll let it rip over the middle. Nice completion. And boy, look at this. It's more than a first down. Taywan Taylor, the rookie, down the seam and then some. Not often you convert a 3rd and 31, but they just did. Now a little razzle dazzle in trouble, and Henry lucky to hang on, and he is going to have a big loss. 2nd and 16 after the loss of 6. Mariota in trouble, spins away. Nice little magic, going to tuck it and run. And he gets across the original line of scrimmage down near the 22. They get it outside to Henry, and he is down. That one is not going to work. He's had a good first half, 9 of 13, 107 yards and a touchdown, but has quieted since a great opening drive. A lot of time. Far side's got a completion, but we have a penalty here.
Illegal hands to the face by the defense, number 36. Well, the quarterback still had the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
And to the face. That was the call there.
That'll help. Always does. Here's Howard, gets wrapped up. Nowhere to go, Sylvester Williams.
Moving him and getting Grasu in the game at center makes them better overall.
Knocked down by Carl Klug in 10. Lennon has time again. Lets it go over the middle, complete, and there is White. Boy, is that good to see for Chicago. White making a good adjustment against these Bears, trying to rebound after a tough year last year. They looked pretty good today on first down after we hit the 2-minute warning. And as I say that, Glennon throws a grounder up the middle.
Out of the gate.
Howard, good hold. Jordan Howard sprinting up the middle, and Howard's going to have a pickup of 8 yards.
And that's driving Tennessee crazy.
There is Howard's numbers. Minute 19 to go, first half. Third down. Howard's got it easily. Jordan Howard, $38 million later. 1:14 to go in the half. First down. Lennon got a connection. It's Victor Cruz, the ex-Giant. Timeouts left for each team. The Bears trying to execute the 2-minute offense. Benny Cunningham in the game, and he's got nowhere to go. Lennon locked up again, throwing near side, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Deontay Thompson, just a little short. Looks like Barth will be the kicker for this team. And he connects. Here's Aguayo who will do the kicking off here. Maybe he'll get the opportunities in the second half. Short kick. Jackson going to take it out. Makes one man miss and another, and Jackson across the 25 to the 27. Mariota. A lot of time floating it near side. Good catch. A little bit of a high throw, but Trey McBride comes down with it, and he's out of bounds to stop the clock with 11 seconds. 2 timeouts, 11 seconds to go. I think you need at least 15 more yards for a field goal. Mariota's going to throw it away. Good play, the final play of the half. 3-man rush. Mariota coming near side, high again. He's been high on a lot of his throws today, and that should do it for the first half. Here's Deontay Thompson, who will be back for the return for Chicago. Return to missed field goal, 109 yards for a touchdown last week. He's got some speed. He's not returning that one, and they will start on their own 25, and they will do it with a new quarterback. Here comes the rookie Mitchell Trubisky. Shotgun, so it's a totally new experience, just like this is under center. And he'll throw it on first down, near side, and incomplete. And I think that's what Trubisky's done in the preseason. It was electric week 1. Pretty decent last week, and he's got Howard, who gets hog-tied well behind the line of scrimmage. There's Jayon Brown. Blitz. Trubisky stands in, lets it fly a little high for White, and incomplete. Is snapping because Patrick Scales went out. Snapping for the first time, we believe, and he's had 2 snaps that have been pretty good. Short kick, Weems. We get a flag. Weems, big hole across midfield, but a penalty, and this will probably.
The kick, personal foul by the receiving team, number 24, blocking a player while he's out of bounds. That's 15 yards from the end of the kick, first down.
ACL.
Oh, that's just terrible news. Bears leading receiver last year. Penalty on this one. Mariota has a completion. It took a couple bobbles, but it's finally hauled in by Rashard Matthews, but we got a penalty too, so we wait and see. Pam, thanks for that report. And as she mentioned, the starters remaining
Offside
in.
defense, number 90. That penalty's declined. Play results in a first down.
26 and a first and 10. Movement, no flag. There's a flag over the middle. Incomplete. He had it in there to Taylor, but it got knocked away, but Bears may have jumped. Let's see.
Offside defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's on Willie Young.
A little bit more after the first half.
First and 5, it's Derrick Henry. Henry bursting through, and he's got a first down. Care who you are. I'm going to treat you dirty, and that's the game plan of 10 guys. We didn't include the quarterback there. They've got that attitude. This is Taywan Taylor running again, breaking a tackle. So it's Henry. Ooh, good hit behind the line of scrimmage that time from Christian Jones. Pressure. Mariota in trouble, and down he goes. Willie Young got the sack. And they will punt it away. Here's Kern, who's had a nice day kicking. Except, of course, for the block, which can't blame on him. Here's Cohen. Fair catch. Bears will have it. We'll get to see Mitchell Trubisky part 2. Man, the last one in 1985, and that is a long time. You know, a good run here from Langford. We'll call him on 2nd and 2. Handoff, good break of a tackle there and a first down. That looked like that was going to go for a loss, but fake the run. Trubisky has some time here, going to dump it off. Langford, foot in the ground, head forward, gets belted out of bounds by Denoris Searcy, shy of the first down. What a hit. Blitz coming. Trubisky sees it, gets rid of it. Langford gets a block. Langford. And a good gain after Trubisky saw the blitz and dumped it off. In there right now is Josh Sitton. Will Pales is taken over from him at right guard. That's it. It's the ones in here. Nice Cox. And a good run across midfield for Benny Cunningham, the former Ram. Second overall pick this year. Second series of the game for him. In there with the Bears' first team. Oh, stumbles, dropped the football, now he'll step on it and recover. Look, he's a rookie. 2nd and 15 after the mishap on the handoff. Back to throw, lofting it near side, almost intercepted. LaShawn Sims got his hands on, couldn't bring it home. 4-man rush, pressure, steps into it near side, a little high, but Thompson hauls it down. However, he's going to be shy of a first down. Let's see if they go for it. Play clock at 2. Not going to get it off. And there is, unless they got a timeout from the sideline, that's a delay. Let's see.
There was not a timeout called before the delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Tell you what, Solo's done a heck of a job snapping. And this punt out of bounds. See where they mark it. Move it right around the 10. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon, and they will run it. It's Henry. Left side, nothing doing. Henry looking for room. He's got it up the middle. Good run. Derrick Henry out to the 20. 3rd and 1. Henry again. Why not? First down. And still going as Henry churning his way to the 26. Ran for 4,261 yards and 55 touchdowns. That's 328 yards a game per game. I mean, what is that? Is Mariota throwing tipped and incomplete?
Get people to match up with Derrick Henry.
Well, whoever they played, he steamrolled apparently. We get a penalty, and Henry here looks to bounce it outside and gives a stiff arm to Webb. That may be coming back, as that flag came just as a snap. Well, the indication actually on Chicago.
Offside defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
It's Jonnu Smith, the tight end, number 81, the rookie in motion. On 2nd down, they'll throw over the middle, and they've got good. Hooked up, it is Matthews into Chicago territory. Who's been a sturdy receiver, over 50 career touchdowns. He's out. They should have some depth. First down. Mariota steps up, a little shovel lateral type thing to Henry. Breaks a tackle. Henry gets a block, rumbling inside the 20. But hang on, there's a flag.
There was no foul on the play. The quarterback still had part of his body, a foot, behind the line of scrimmage. And by rule, he's not beyond the line of the pass until his entire body and the ball are beyond. Result of the play is a first down.
1st and 10. A lot of time. Mariota lofting end zone, incomplete. Fake to Henry. Mariota, pressure coming. He's going to loft it again for the end zone. On 3rd and 10. He's going to throw it over the middle. McBride makes a nice catch, but he's shy of a first down. Henry flags. Henry, and this play is not going to count. It's blown dead.
Foul stopped the play before the play was run. Neutral zone infraction, defense number 99. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Dead. It's the discretion of the official. Nonetheless, here we go. Titans knocking on the door. It's Henry. Well, they got Derrick Henry back there, and a 2nd and goal from the 3. They'll shuffle it. Henry with the cut, and touchdown.
But this will help them say, this is what we're looking for, guys. This is who we can be. This is who we are. Let's get back to that full time.
That was a good drive featuring Derrick Henry, who punches it in from 3 yards out. 11-play, 90-yard drive. But as he said, Charles, I'm not out on the field telling knock-knock jokes. I have my fun, but out there I want to be the best left tackle in football. And he's certainly one of them. Whoa! A bounce here off of Benny Cunningham, but he keeps it in the end zone, and they'll start from the 25 this weekend, which is outstanding. Hopefully you can join in and help too. Here's Trubisky, still in there for Chicago. He's going to sling it out to Daniel Brown, his tight end.
Hurry, stop!
And we get a whistle.
New offensive line in as well.
False start offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
Second down. Trubisky fires, and he's got a completion. Over the middle, it's Titus Davis, and a first down.
Because of repetition.
They'll run it here. This is Rounds. Makes a move outside, and he goes forward near the 45. We get a flag again. You know, and on that note,
There's no foul for holding on the play. Second down.
Okay. Trubisky, that's the first down. He's got a completion to Brown.
The call. So this is maybe a preseason game, but boy, it's proving costly so far.
Wow, man, that's not great. Meanwhile, a nice little run here. I was getting a look at Josh Rounds. No. Run it to Rounds, and he is smacked, but still going. I thought they may have blown the whistle there. Find
Forward
out.
progress was ruled was stopped. Second down.
Trubisky on the fake's going to let it fly deep. He's got a man, and he's got himself a touchdown. Tanner Gentry.
Look at that. You talk about no one around. That's throwing from the rocking chair right there for Trubisky. And he hits Gentry, the undrafted free agent out of Wyoming, for the big shot.
And a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Aguayo, who will try the extra point, and it's up, and it is good. So the Bears extending their lead, 19-7. What also feels good for the Bears has to be the performance of their starter today, and that's.
I don't know if he should be the starter. How have you kept out all the noise?
Just stay even keel, and that's kind of just my personality, to kind of just go with the flow and just control what I can and keep working hard. So that's the approach I've taken.
Oh, shorty, but Mike's 6'6". I understand why your neck is coney. He is a big guy. Matt Castle's in there for the Titans at quarterback now, and he gets it knocked away. Look, that's a great point. Second down and 10. Third down. Pressure is picked up. Castle incomplete. That's going to sail out of bounds somewhere around the 10-yard line in this contest. They are going to run it. Run some clock here. I got a place. He said, I know, but it's hard. I haven't had a lot of time. So, someone find Mitchell Trubisky a place to live, please. Actually, there's just a bunch of trees in the background. Third down for Trubisky. 5-man rush. Steps up. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He shows the legs, and he's got a first down. On first down, throw it again. Coming near side. He's got a completion to Davis, and Titus breaks one tackle.
There's a newness for him that he's starting to get the hang of.
Langford gets the carry, penalty flag, and Langford going to be a little bit shy of a first down, I believe, but we'll see what the penalty is. Is Walter Payton.
Illegal formation offense, number 76, was on the end of the line, uncovered. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
As he picked up a book and read it, I love that.
Also true. No iPads at that point, I don't think. Who knows? Incomplete there. Cookie. 4-man rush. Has time. Steps into it. Near side, another completion to Titus Davis. Langford. And that got stacked up pretty quickly in the backfield. He had nowhere to go.
Line 80.
And that's not going to be much for Josh Rounds. 3rd and 12 coming up. Blitz coming. He sees it, steps away, keeps the play alive, fires complete. Oh, dropped. Victor Cruz, usually reliable, just couldn't bring it in. With 4:08 to go. Weems is back. Weems makes a man miss. And he gets it up to the 24. I thought that Mike Glennon was really interesting talking to us the other day, or yesterday I guess it was, about Jameis Winston. This Castle's incomplete.
I'll wait for this play to finish, but I'll tell you what, I told Mike something years ago about that.
Which was? As a completion out across the 25 to Jennings.
I told him, I said, in my opinion, you get to the NFL and you're dealing with a bunch of men, Mike, take an acting class, a drama class, a public speaking class, something to be more expressive and get yourself out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
Acted like the natural leader that this team needs him to be.
As far as those other storylines, yeah, I know Atlanta's going to have a tough mental hurdle. 1st and 10 for Tennessee. Castle eludes. Castle runs, and he's got himself a first down. And he goes down, so does the ball. It's loose on the ground. Who's going to pick it up? Bouncing around. I think Chicago's got it. They do.
Don't forget, a lot of people still trying to make this team, and one guy who you would expect to make the team and still out there playing now is Lamar Houston. Coming back, trying to knock off the rust after 2 ACL surgeries in 3 years. He gets to Matt Castle in the pocket.
11 of them last year, tied a record low. And so the Bears on offense now. Connor Shaw is a new quarterback, so Mitchell Trubisky's day is done. Now Connor Shaw for the remaining 2:34. Back to throw he goes over the middle. Got himself a completion to Mike Cole Pruitt. 2 minutes left in this one as Shaw will throw it. He's going to loft it up to the end zone, and almost another catch and a touchdown for Tanner Gentry, but it was knocked away nicely by Ty Smith. Eric Mandia is our AD, all still fill-in producer today. Mandia will get some time as well as Tyler Dare. Peter Greasy on graphics, who's getting a chance in a big seat this year. Good job, Greasy.
Celebration there. Darren Bates back in his home state of Tennessee, picking up that fumble recovery. Derek Decker is a wide receiver. Now they just need to put it all together because they're no longer hunting, right? They're part of the hunted.
No question.
And that's a different mindset and people coming after you. Remember, 2-4 last year in their own division.
Times they have. So that's where it's got to change. And if they do that, they'll be a playoff team. Here's Fluellen. Over the middle and a completion. Kevin Maben. Near side. Did he get his feet in bounds? He did not.
You got to come down and get it done.
50 seconds to go. Dump to Fluellen over the middle. He's got a first down. Titans will hurry it on up. And we get a penalty flag. Haven't had any of those today.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 69. Piled on a player that was already on the ground. 15 yards enforced from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Danny letting it rip. Incomplete.
I thought there wasn't going to be as much pressure as in my old job, but there definitely is. There was a lot of stuff today.
It's because everything that
Your two coaches aren't calling you for that anymore, but all of us will be calling you for different things, and you've got the college game as well.
Hey, by the way, I think the coaches are still calling.
No, there's no doubt.
There might be a couple, 1 or 2.
Marissa Thompson is waiting patiently. to take it from us back in Los Angeles. And she will get her chance to do that in a moment. That'll do it here from Nashville. The Bears take down the Titans 19-7. For Pam Oliver, Dean Blandino, to Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt for our entire NFL on Fox crew. Thanks for watching. Carissa Thompson, we send it back to you in LA.